Welcome to Call Me Didi, everyone. I'm your host, Diva.
And I'm your host, Sanchi, and welcome back to our podcast.
Today we're in the Adelaide Botanic Gardens, which are so beautiful. And we thought because we're returning, just us, after a long time, that we bring you and come to you from somewhere special.
Yes, and today we're just gonna do a little bit of a reflection of where we are at and how's Call Me Didi going and how are we going and what's happening, and you can come with us on our journey of building a podcast.
Wow, you've said it so smoothly, like building a podcast.
Because we are building a podcast.
No, true. But today we're in the Botanic Gardens. It is a Saturday afternoon. Like always, we were supposed to record in the morning, but we're recording in the afternoon. But you know what? It's so gorgeous here. Like it is really lifted my mood and my spirits just being here.
Yeah.
Adelaide is such a beautiful place.
I agree. I feel like it's so wholesome as a city that it takes time for you to adapt to it. Like it takes time for you to find it as your safe space and just find your people and
Yeah.
find your spot.
Yeah.
But once you do it,
I agree. But I feel like it can also quickly get very comfortable as a city. Because it's quite laid back and it's very comforting. Like it's a very it's your city vibes, but it can get very not challenging as well in some ways. So
Yeah.
you have to consciously put yourself through challenges to keep growing.
You know what's interesting? You say that, but for me, I feel like it was opposite because, like, yes, the city doesn't push you, but because it brings me peace, the city brings me peace, people around here bring me peace, and it's good, really good work life balance as a place. Like, I feel like I have the mental capacity and energy to actually use that and put it into my work and nurture my work with that extra energy that I have and the peace that I've in, if that makes sense.
It makes complete sense. It's really just how do you channel the peace and energy that this place comes with?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
It's what you make of it.
It's what you make of it, like all things in life.
Yes.
But it has been, 5 months since we recorded an episode. It was just us.
It's been a very long time.
Yeah. So much has changed in these 5 months.
Yeah, we were just talking about recording this episode and we realized that we missed doing our highlights of the week because it was very nice to do them as like a reflection of the week and talk about good, bad, ugly, whatever was going on in our life. So
It was almost like a moment of gratitude. Like you can sit down and just be grateful. And I think when you put anything in words, either in paper or when you verbally express it, it really like you almost internalize the gratitude when you say it loudly. So I think we should do that again.
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Do you have a highlight of maybe the year?
Yeah, it's a good idea because 2025, we are 5 months in. It's a good idea to do what's been happening. I think one of my big goals on my vision board has come true. And I haven't really put it out anywhere because it's very personal and I don't want to say it out. But I'm really, really grateful for it. Yeah, I'm just seeing someone. That's it. So, yeah, it's very nice, very wholesome, and it makes me feel very fulfilled.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. What is yours?
Mine is, I've had a very interesting year so far. It's been a bit up and down, but I think mine has definitely been the travel. Like when I went back to India to attend one of my closest friends' weddings. So this is a friend who was my first friend in Australia. And we've moved to different cities since then, and we've really we've been in contact, but she's not a friend who I can call who I call just like that and pick up the phone. But going back for her wedding and attending that just made me feel like fuck, like we've come such a long way in life from the day we both entered Australia. She was my first friend in uni. On my first day of uni I met her and she got married and I got to see her. be there. It was insane. And I also reconnected with so many girlfriends in that wedding. I don't know, like this year so far has made me feel so grateful for the girlfriends in my life. Like genuinely I felt like I've met such warm, sweet, kind girls, and I'm coming to realize that they hold a very special place in my life. So yeah, like travel to India, seeing loved ones and just making these close friends has been really, really nice.
Nice. That's very heartwarming.
Yeah,
I like it.
great.
What else is going on? Do you have any other updates in life? How's life in other areas? How's career going? How's health going? What
Yeah.
is your theme of this year and how's that going?
So my theme of the year was learning and execution, and it is going well. So I've I don't know if people know, but I'm like in this big like health bubble right now where I'm constantly reading. I'm actually doing a course which makes you become a nutritionist, and I'm doing it just for learning purposes. But I'm like in this weird bubble that I only listen to health podcasts. Yeah, I'm learning a lot, and I feel like I am actually if it's not like it's changed in the sense that it's not just me just listening to whole podcast. Like I feel like I'm internalizing and I'm applying it in my life as well. So that's been really good. But otherwise my years felt like a bit of a funk. Like I've just been ever since I came back from India, I feel like I'm not doing very well mentally. And I'm trying to find ways around it, and I'm asking for help where I feel like I need help, so that's good. But yeah, it's been interesting so far. How's your year going?
Mine is going actually pretty good. It started off really well, going back to India, spending time with my family, going on trip was really nice and wholesome. Helped me reconnect with them and spend time with them. That was really nice. And after that, I feel like my theme of this year is like freedom and growth and freedom, to be fair. And I want to do it in a way where I want to scale my business and scale Call Me Didi to a point where it's possible for us to do our full-time jobs either part-time or leave them completely, and like make this our life and have the freedom of time, place, that we can actually work from anywhere in the world. That's, I would say, the ultimate goal. If doesn't happen this year, that's fine. Like that's what drives me. That's like the ultimate purpose for building anything for me. So I feel like that is going really well because I am constantly listening to podcasts on how to manage properly, how to be more productive, how to have more with less time, like how to do more and put in less time in it. And the concept of focus hour, which I've learned, is really good because it's like you put everything aside and you do 1 hour sprint work for the first 5 minutes, write what you're going to do in the next 45 minutes, do that in the next 45 minutes, and then tick it off. It makes you feel so fulfilled, it makes you feel like you've achieved so much. Like, and I do it before going to work, and that is like crazy because the first hour of your day is like when you're at peak high energy, for me because I'm a morning person, and I use that energy into building something of my own. And I feel so good because it makes me feel like now I can actually like chill after work if I want to. I don't feel guilty. And I can do things that don't require brain space. Like I can go out for my walks and I can do my workouts after. So it makes me feel really good and fulfilled. I feel like it's going really well in that sense, like productivity wise, going
Yeah,
really well.
that's good because I know that's something you struggled a lot with last year, like that feeling of not feeling fulfilled or feeling guilty if you weren't productive in the day.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it is like a great hack that I've found of working before work because it's like, good, I've done my work now. Like, I don't, there's nothing to feel guilty about, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So, yeah, that's a little bit of my update.
Yes, that's great. Let's talk about the podcast and how that's been going. So, obviously, last year, the last video that we did where it was just us, we talked about what's working, what's not working, and what we want to change. And in that, we covered four things that we want to improve. one was that we want to invite more guests on a podcast because until then it was just us, and you were probably tired of hearing from just us. Or maybe not. Maybe you love it. You tell us. Which do you prefer?
That's true. And I think it was also like we were feeling very stagnant. We were like, we've talked about a lot of things, and now I feel like it's a point where we want to feel more exhilarating by talking to new guests.
Yeah. So we decided to bring on more guests this year, which I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of. Oh, and they'll continue to keep coming out because we'll talk more about this, but we've gone to Melbourne and we've interviewed some amazing people.
Yeah.
So those will be coming out very soon as well. But the other thing we wanted to work on was monetizing a podcast.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going?
I feel like it has taken like it has gone from 0 to 1, which is amazing because we have been doing events and we've been getting some paid partnerships for our Instagram as well. But I think we have a long way to go. We have to find sponsors for a podcast. We have to expand more in our Instagram growth. So I feel like we have a long way to go there.
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like we're making some progress.
Yeah.
It's better than where we left off. So, progress is progress. So that's
Definitely.
good. That's good. And the other thing we wanted to do was do more events, which we have been successful at doing, which I mean, I think we're doing a good job. We've done one event in the first quarter in Adelaide. We then did an event in Melbourne as well. We've introduced community hikes now on the last Sunday of every month. So, yeah, we're trying to do like community building
Yes.
through our events.
Yeah, I'm actually very passionate about this. I feel like there's something really powerful about bringing people together in real life and have energy in the room, and where you're actually talking to people who are in the same boat as you. It makes you feel like you belong. It makes you feel like you are seen and heard, and it's very good to see people who are also either going through similar challenges and you talk about it, or have moved past those challenges and can guide you through that challenge. So I feel like that is really good through the events to achieve that. And now we are going to go to Brisbane as well next month and do an event there.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do Australia wide, which is happening, which is on track because we went to Melbourne. Now we're going to Brisbane. Then we will come to Perth and Sydney. So keep an eye out for that.
It's going to happen by the end of the year for sure. But yeah, I'm quite happy with our events. I feel like a lot of people have found meaningful friendships through our events. I have found so many friends through our events that are now good girlfriends and other friends. So yeah, I think it's been really, really good. I'm really proud of us for doing this. Like, we have a hike now tomorrow when over 90 people have registered to come to a hike at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning in the winter.
Yeah.
That's
That's crazy.
crazy. But I mean, hopefully 90 people show up. I doubt it. But it's still cool that, there's so many people who are going to meet and there'll be so much energy that'll be shared in nature. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fourth one, of course, was we want to be more data driven in our approach for our podcast.
Yes. And I feel like we have been going okay in that area. I think we do look at analytics for a YouTube and we try and do our titles and descriptions and thumbnails according to that. And it has worked. We have reached really good impressions for a few of our episodes and they are doing really well. But I feel like there is still room for improvement. We have to, I think we should get more guests on based on the problems people are facing, based on the things they're searching for. So of course there's like way more room for improvement and there's always room for improvement. So I feel like that is also went from 0 to 1, but there's a long way to go. Yes, that's a very, very brief rundown of what is the update and what's happening in our podcast. But I think we should talk about what have we learned through inviting guests on our podcast and just how mind-blowing their stories have been.
Yeah, I feel like even just talking to these people and sharing a room with them, and these are people who've gone through real life stuff, and overcome it, and then have a story to tell, it really, really opens up your mind listening to that. And to be able to receive that information firsthand and to ask the questions is really cool. I think I have two favorites that we've recorded so far from the podcast. One was Sanya's story. Sanya is a public speaking coach whose podcast actually has just gone out. So I would highly, highly encourage people to go listen to that, especially if you're an immigrant, English is not your first language, or if you just want to pursue public speaking or speak more confidently in Australia, even otherwise, I think it'll be a really good episode for you. But my takeaway from her episode was a little bit different. She briefly mentioned it in the episode how stress impacted her and impacted the ability to produce eggs. And then we spoke to her at a personal level after the episode, and it just really puts perspective to how much stress can have an impact on your life, and why you should manage it effectively. That was my biggest learning. And the other one was speaking to Dropa Chaiwala, whose episode will come out very soon. He's part of a Melbourne guest that we recorded with. He just is living a dream that now I don't aspire to have lived, but there was a time when I was going for that dream and building a chai business. So speaking to him just made it like really put things into perspective on what you need to do to get to that level. And he's expanding very quickly. And I'm very, very proud of him because he's an immigrant, young, I think he's 24, 25-year old. He owns 3, 4 cafes and has an expansion model. And his chai is great. So he was probably one of my other favorite guests.
That's really nice. I didn't expect you to say two.
Sorry.
But now I will also say two.
Go for it.
One is actually this Melbourne guest that the podcast we recorded with the Beiju's founders. I really enjoyed recording that episode because I felt like those two people are very similar to us. They're two best friends. They started a business. When they started it, they didn't think that, oh, it'll be like $1 million business and they'll be going into Woolies and like big retailers out there. And they've done that. They started it as something that they just wanted to do and wanted to explore, and they had that entrepreneurial spirit, which, and then they took that step and they started it and then they expanded it, and they faced so many challenges and they overcame it, and they have such chill attitude towards life. They love life and they enjoy what they do. They're enjoying the process of building, and they've built something really cool out of it. Like just hearing their story and talking to them, because their energy was so good. Like I felt so recharged after talking to them because it just filled the room. Like it made me feel so good. So that episode is a must listen. And the second one was actually not an interview, it was more like the conversation podcast that we had with our girlfriends, who became our girlfriends after that episode, actually, because before that, like, we met them very briefly, but we just thought that okay, it'll be really cool to invite them on a podcast and just talk about women in Australia struggling.
That's our first guest podcast for people who want to go listen to
Actually,
it.
it was second.
Oh, sorry, that's our second guest podcast with Andrea and Mug.
Yeah, and we talked about so many things. One of them got a citizenship, so process of going through that, giving up your Indian citizenship. We talked about identities because one of our guests was NRI, and we talked about so many things, and it was such a wholesome and fulfilling podcast to record because it felt like we were talking about such authentic things that have happened in our lives, and it was very, very organic and it flowed so well. Like it felt so good to record that, and it's so crazy. After that, we have hung out like so many times, and we go for like our dinners and we talk about all those things that we talked on a podcast but on a personal level, and it feels so fulfilling. Like that gave us really good girlfriends, and we talked about some of the things that so many immigrants go through. So I feel like that podcast would be relatable for so many people out there.
And I feel like something that I love that we do in these conversational podcasts is that we have very real conversations. Like it's problems we genuinely face. It's like our day-to-day life. And it's so real. And I feel like not enough people talk about it.
Exactly.
So yeah, and kudos to our guests for opening up as they do as well on our podcast and just talk.
Yeah.
And sometimes these problems people don't like talking about it because you want to be perceived as you're doing really well and everything is good and I'm really successful and I have no problem. Especially when you move to Australia, like you try to create an impression of your life where it's things are great compared to your life back home. A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like life is good. Like look at us. We're sitting in this beautiful park, but there are things which bother us and have bothered us. So it's so good to have these real conversations so more
Yeah.
people can relate to it.
Exactly. Like talk about good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
Everything, end to end.
Yeah.
So, what do you think was like the overall theme or like one biggest takeaway that you took from all the episodes that we have recorded up until now?
I think that's something that a lot of guests mentioned in passing was their network and how much that came into helping them grow. And these are especially the founders that we've interviewed. You know, a lot of South Australian founders spoke about taking help from the government through grants or through other people who have some power and are able to assist them and support them. And these are personal relationships that they've built that have then come in handy. In Melbourne, we spoke to the founder of Hex, who, you know, her whole organization is about people and how people support people and educate people and how she's been in rooms where people have helped her. So I think that was a common theme that a lot of founder guests spoke to us about, that, you know, your network is your net worth, and the people you know really come in handy in life and in your career.
One of the biggest takeaways for me, I think it was that you will never feel ready to start something. You have to take action now. Like the best time to take action was yesterday, but that's
Second best time is today.
today. Yeah, that's right. So it's like just start. You'll never feel like you have everything set in place. You just need to start. And once you start, everything will start falling into place. You'll start seeing ways to grow it, to scale it. You'll start finding people who will help you in that journey. You'll actually put in the time and the effort into building it once you actually start. So just start. That was one of my biggest learnings from it.
Yeah, no, 100%. That was, I guess, all the founders started somewhere
Yeah, exactly.
and they just took the step to start.
True. Let's talk about our community now. Where's Call Me Didi heading to? What is happening? And what to expect?
Yeah, so like we said, we are going national, Australia wide. We are going to Brisbane in June, and we're super duper excited. We're gonna be meeting some really people for a cool people for a podcast, but we're also hosting an event there to bring people together to do the wholesome events that we do in Adelaide, to bring that to Brisbane, and then we also want to go to Sydney and Perth and just help people connect in all these places and build our community as well over there.
Yeah. We are also thinking of introducing our monthly newsletters, which will be just us talking about our favorite picks, what have we learned, some productivity tips, some self love tips, some self care tips, and all the conversations that we have on our podcast with amazing guests. We'll talk about that in there. And I think it'll be a really good place to just update people on what's happening and what are we learning as we go.
Yes, I'm quite excited about this. I think it'll be really cool. It's just another way for us to connect with our community and hear back from our community as well on what they're wanting and what sort of. Because a lot of people reach out to us all the time and like, can you do this sort of an event? Can you host like a big movie screening event? And it's a good way to connect with everybody. So I'm quite excited about that.
Yeah, me too. We are also thinking of doing some different activity based events that will bring people together and like they can do something together. Like we might be collaborating with a few people who host like yoga sessions or like sound bath sessions in August. So keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, and if you know of an organization who we should collaborate with, please tell us. We'd love to collaborate with people and bring you the events that you'd like for us to bring to you.
Other than that, we are looking for sponsors for our podcast. As we said, we are looking to grow, we are looking to monetize. We put in a lot of time and energy and effort into it. And even though we have been able to take it from 0 to 1, We'd love for it to expand and actually make it into something sustainable, because it's good to put in time, energy, and effort into something that brings you joy, but in order to actually keep it sustainable, you need to monetize it. So it'll be really helpful to find some really cool businesses who would like to support us, support our podcast, support our Instagram, work with us, and mutually beneficial partnerships. So either you're a business or you know of a business who could help us, please reach out and we'd love to chat. I think that's it from our side.
Yeah, I think so.
If you liked our podcast, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Also, join our newsletter and we'll put a subscription link below. Tell us what would you like to hear from us more of, because we are thinking of doing these updates every now and then. If you want to see particular guests on a podcast, let us know as well. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yes, this has been really lovely. Bye.
Bye.